African Union Communications Early Warning and Intelligence, commonly known as AUC-3I, is an intelligence and security organization responsible for providing signals intelligence and information assurance to AU citizens, AU leadership, and AU armed forces. I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. I am responsible for leading infantry soldiers at all levels of command in combined armed forces during missions on the ground. This is today's briefing. On the progress of the special military operation as of April 12, 2025. The armed forces of the Russian Federation continue to conduct a special military operation. Units of the North Group of Forces in the Belgorod direction inflicted defeat on formations of 2 mechanized brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces and 2 territorial defense brigades in the areas of the settlements of Malaya Rybitsa, Mikhailovskoye, Maripolskoye, Krasnopoli, and Ugrody in the Sumy region. In the Kharkov direction, the manpower and equipment of the mechanized and motorized infantry brigades of the armed forces of Ukraine were damaged in the areas of the settlements of Kazakya Lopan and Volchansk in the Kharkov region. The Ukrainian armed forces lost up to 75 servicemen, an armored combat vehicle, 5 cars, and 5 field artillery pieces. Units of the West Group of Forces improved their position along the front line. They defeated formations of 2 mechanized, mountain assault brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces and a territorial defense brigade in the areas of the settlements of Kupiansk, Radkovka, Novaya Krebliakovka in the Kharkov region, Novoy, Yampol, Kirovsk in the Donetsk People's Republic, and Makiivka in the Lugansk People's Republic. The Ukrainian Armed Forces lost more than 250 servicemen, an armored combat vehicle, 8 cars, and 3 artillery pieces. 3 electronic warfare stations and 3 ammunition depots were destroyed. Units of the Southern Group of Troops improved their tactical position. They defeated the manpower and equipment of 2 mechanized, mountain assault, artillery brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, a territorial defense brigade, a National Guard brigade, and the Special Forces Brigade Azov in the areas of the settlements of Nikiforovka, Tarasovka, Slavyansk, Chasiv, Belyagora, Verkhnekamenskoye, Konstantinovka, and Sherbanovka of the Donetsk People's Republic. The enemy lost over 310 militants, 8 armored combat vehicles, including 3 U.S.-made M113 armored personnel carriers, 18 vehicles, and 4 field artillery pieces. An electronic warfare station and 2 ammunition depots were destroyed. Units of the Center Group of Forces took up more advantageous lines and positions. They defeated formations of 3 mechanized brigades, a brigade of unmanned systems, an assault regiment of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, a Marine brigade, and a National Guard brigade in the areas of the settlements of Zvarivo, Kodlino, Krasnoarmysk, Kodlyarovka, Bogdanovka, Udaknoye, and Alexievka of the Donetsk People's Republic. The Ukrainian Armed Forces lost up to 440 servicemen, 2 armored combat vehicles, including the American M113 armored personnel carrier, 5 pickup trucks, and 5 field artillery pieces, including the U.S.-made 155mm Paladin and French-made Caesar self-propelled artillery pieces. Units of the East Group of Forces continued to advance into the depths of the enemy's defense. They inflicted losses on the manpower and equipment of the mechanized, airborne assault, mountain assault brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and the Marine Brigade in the areas of the settlements of Bogodar, Podubno, Otradno, Shevchenko, Volno-Pol of the Donetsk People's Republic, Vovchi, and Filia of the Dnipropetrovsk region. The Ukrainian Armed Forces lost more than 155 servicemen, 2 combat armored vehicles, 4 cars, and 4 field artillery pieces, including a U.S.-made 155mm M777 howitzer. A fuel depot was destroyed. Units of the Dnieper Group of Forces occupied more advantageous lines and positions. They defeated the formations of the Mountain Assault Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and 2 territorial defense brigades in the areas of the settlements of Novodanilovka, Pavlovka in the Zaporizhia region, Dniprovskoye, and Antonovka in the Kherson region. Up to 60 servicemen, an infantry fighting vehicle, 5 vehicles, an electronic warfare station, 2 ammunition depots, and a military technical equipment depot were destroyed. Operational tactical aviation, strike unmanned aerial vehicles, missile forces, and artillery of the Russian armed forces groups have damaged an aviation enterprise of the Ukrainian military-industrial complex, the infrastructure of a military airfield and seaport of the Ukrainian armed forces, armored vehicle repair and unmanned aerial vehicle assembly shops, ammunition and missile depots, as well as temporary deployment points of Ukrainian armed formations in 153 districts. Air defense systems shot down 6 JDAM-guided aerial bombs and 5 U.S.-made HIMARS multiple launch rockets, as well as 154 aircraft-type unmanned aerial vehicles. In total, since the beginning of the special military operation, the following have been destroyed: 660 aircraft, 283 helicopters, 51,128 unmanned aerial vehicles, 601 anti-aircraft missile system, 22,811 tanks and other armored combat vehicles, 1,534 multiple launch rocket system combat vehicles, 23,518 field artillery pieces and mortars, 34,010 units of special military vehicles. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it useful and informative. If you have any questions, please leave them below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.